Welcome back to the ESPN Hoops and Hits podcast presented by Tab. I am the Scope, drawn by my man, the Grub. He is back and he is one happy man after, I guess it's pretty obvious, he's repping the kit. It's not US sports merchandise kit. It's here in Australia. We are rugby league at heart.
Yeah.
And you are a blues man at heart as
Yeah.
well. Very happy?
I haven't taken this off since Wednesday, not going to lie. It stinks a little bit.
I thought you haven't taken that off since 2014.
It's a bit tight. It is a bit tight. There's a bit of 4X over the top of it. Got plenty of beers thrown at me at the stadium. But yeah, good win. But some interesting things have happened since.
Yes.
So game 2 is going to be huge. But
Confident?
yeah, I'm confident, but it's going to be a hard game.
As confident as you were in your Eagles going into the Super Bowl this year? Or what level?
Yeah, I would
more confident, less confident?
Well, after the weekend, a little bit less confident just because a couple went down. But look,
you did play it down when the Philly Eagles were just running amok.
I'm playing it down because I just know when Queensland, backs against the wall. We've heard it all before. But I like your Liverpool/Queensland shirt.
Yeah, got it. Just trying to represent the Maroons in some way with a little bit of hint of red.
Love it.
Shout out to the Reds, officially the Premier League champions. It was done about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Easy.
In fact, it was done a couple of months ago. We were always in the driver's seat.
Yep.
Shout out to Arnie Slot in his first year.
Unreal.
I didn't anticipate a Premier League title in the first year, especially once Klopp had moved on. But here we are, Premier League champions, and you are champions of at least game 1.
Yeah.
We'll see how the rest of the series goes. Let's get into the USA, though, and the Pacers have officially ended the Knicks' dream run. Crazy series, especially the first 2 games. And we were talking about it with Benyam last week. He even anticipated Knicks fighting back. That wasn't the case. So we'll preview the NBA Finals. They're going to have to go to OKC because they got the job done quicker and had the better record. We'll discuss. We had a post, 100 athletes versus gorilla. Now, this has been a trend. It's been going around for a while now.
All right.
I've always wanted to address it.
All right.
Have you got 5 rugby league players? Is that where you're going?
I've got an NRL dream team.
Okay.
I've got a tactic.
I've got 5 different sports athletes.
Yeah, like
one
that.
of them including rugby league.
Yep.
A boxer, MMA,
Yep.
NBA,
Mm-hmm.
and NFL.
Nice.
We'll chat UFC 316 and we make our picks for the NBA Finals with the pick 6 to finish off. All right, mate, let's get to Left on Red. This is where we kick off the show. The first one comes from Facebook, and it comes from Slav Redlowski. Big, huge fan of the show too, by the way, Slav. If you're an Indiana-based basketball fan right now, you're loving life, bring on a good series, please. Need the Pacers to steal this one. So the Pacers and the Knicks. Did anyone see this coming at all? I know they were sort of, the 4th and 5th seed, and they've been competitive for a couple of years, ever since Halliburton's gone there, but a great acquisition in Siakam a couple of years ago, and he proves to be the nice Robin, even though he got the MVP in the series.
Well, you could sometimes say he's the Batman. I think him and Halliburton, they constantly swap, and that's why they're so good. But I definitely didn't see this coming. I'll be completely honest. I don't think many people did, but
Boston really threw a spanner in the works, didn't they?
With this whole final series, they actually did. But I will say, when you look at the Pacers, the best way to explain them is they are a team.
Yeah.
They are a hustling team. They haven't got many superstars. I would like to say that Halliburton is spoken about now in that. He has to be.
Well, he was part of Team USA, although he didn't get many minutes. He was voted recently by his peers as the most overrated player.
That hurts, man.
That sucks hearing that.
That hurts.
This is the best revenge that you get.
Oh, yeah.
But what about him? And you probably, I don't know if you would have seen the footage by now, when Siakam got awarded the Eastern Conference Player of the Finals, and he went to go step forward because he anticipated it being him.
Oh.
I feel for him. I know Siakam put up big numbers and had some good scoring games as well, but I'm so surprised he didn't win it. And I honestly believe that there must be, there's just, he just rubs people the wrong way.
It's got to be something. But I will say Siakam, his ability to run the floor, his ability to play in the paint, and his ability to get to the basket just makes him so hard to cover. And he was unbelievable. But Halliburton has just been the guy. He's the guy.
He controls everything.
He controls everything. Yeah. But I also love the Pacers as a team because when you got 10 guys, when you got 7 players that are hitting double figures in a game, who the hell are you marking?
Yeah.
Who are you double teaming? And this is what they are. The one, you know, they remind me of a little bit the Cronulla Sharks when they won the comp.
Okay.
Because sometimes I was watching, I forget which game it was when they were terrible. The Knicks destroyed them. I was like, are these guys in the finals?
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden they flip it and they're the absolute they're scrappers. They bring you down to their level and they don't care how they beat you.
That's the beauty of both teams.
Both
Teams are the same. Well, we'll talk about the West in a bit.
Unbelievable. So
Team basketball.
I just honestly think it's been a long time for them in the finals. Do you think it's going to hurt the viewing, mate? OKC
sure.
and Pacers, you won't get because there's no big names essentially,
and the style of basketball. So what you're mentioning there, like Tyrese Halliburton's a bit of a throwback to more the traditional type of point guard. He likes to get people involved. SGA is more of a scorer, so people are going to be attracted to that. But the fouling and the flopping that people aren't a fan of. So it's nowhere near going to get the numbers of like if a Celtics team are in there, and even though people still find Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown polarizing, it is the Boston Celtics, who'd they play like Luka and Kyrie. Like there's proper star power in those games where in those teams where this is a little bit different. And before we even get to the Thunder, I am dubbing this. You know what I'm dubbing this final series? This is the Paul George Cup. And what I mean by that is, so Paul George went to the Eastern Conference Finals twice with the Indiana Pacers. In order for Paul George to get to the Oklahoma City Thunder originally, they traded him for picks. A couple of those picks ended up becoming Domantas Sabonis, which was a part of the trade that got Tyrese Halliburton in a straight swap from Sacramento Kings. So Tyrese Halliburton, he's the main player at the Indiana Pacers. And then we just talked at length. How many episodes did we talk about the Luka Doncic trade and how bad that was?
Yep.
You got to go back. People haven't, like, this is one of those ones when you look back in hindsight 5 years on, the Oklahoma City Thunder got SGA with 5 or 6 first-round picks, which have basically turned into Holmgren, J-Dub. SGA straight, like, was a part of that package as the star player with picks. That's their whole team, the Oklahoma City Thunder. So Paul George is directly linked to both of these two teams playing.
So you think he should be there to give the
cup?
cup?
He has to hand the MVP over.
You
for
reckon?
sure. He has, because it's going to be SGA or Halliburton, and he's directly linked to both of them being the franchise players for both the teams.
Well, you heard it here first. The NBA, the top stockholders.
Yep.
Our man has just come up with the Paul George Cup.
The Paul George Cup. Do you like it?
I love it. Makes sense.
It's crazy how he's linked to both of these teams, and they're in the.
It's crazy how much of an NBA nerd you are, but great stuff.
I deep because you know what I was why I was a Paul George guy. You know, wherever all my love always starts with hate.
Yeah.
And I hated LeBron that much that I didn't. If we couldn't beat him at the Knicks, then I was riding the Pacers to beat him back in the day.
Yep.
So when he was playing for the Heat, so it always starts with hate somewhere. But let's move to the Oklahoma City Thunder. We have a message here from Twitter. Map of America, who is rooting for the NBA Finals. I don't know about this. I reckon SGA, he's got his haters out there. The playing community, the fans, people aren't a fan of, people don't really like the foul baiting that he does. So
no one likes a flopper. Your man Harden, same thing.
My man, he's not my man.
He's your man. Another hater.
Your man, LeBron, is the OG. But they're set. Where are you going in this? We've talked about the matchup. There isn't the huge star power of LeBron James, or we're even talking, Paul George starting to fall off now, but KD and Steph Curry and Luka Doncic, the list goes on. We've talked about that before. Halliburton versus SGA. They're different sorts of players. One wants to score on you, the other one wants to facilitate and score if need be. Where do you lean on this series?
Well, first things first, I want to put it out there. OKC win it, and I'm not jumping back on the bandwagon, but I was an OKC fan back in the day. I would say a bit more with the Westbrook Durant times. Look, if you need confirmation, anyone on the show, go back on my Instagram. You can see it, okay?
Well, you've clearly jumped back on the bandwagon.
Well, I'm not jumping back on.
You haven't mentioned the OKC at all this year.
That is a lie. I wasn't jump at once. But I will say, I will say I'm putting this forward. I'm not jumping back on, but I do think they'll win.
Okay. Yeah. I think they'll win as well.
Yeah. They obviously looking for their first flag since they come in the comp. I think it's like 2008. They haven't won one.
They haven't won one. So they're the youngest team since that KD, James Harden, Russell Westbrook team that made the finals and lost to, in the East, they would have lost to the Heat, wouldn't they?
Of course you said that. Pacers fans hurting. I think it's been about 50 years for them. So someone's going to have a fairy tale. Someone is going to have a fairy tale. I love the matchup. It's for me. I love the matchup because I like seeing the defensive side of the game being played well. I really do. But some people won't like it because there's not as many scorers. I just think it'll be up to Halliburton to see if he can filter through the double teams of OKC because they do it well. When they close someone down, they close them down. So it's going to be up to him to do that. I'm confident SGA can do it. I seen it in the last series when they tried to go to town on him.
Yep.
OKC, when they want to get physical, they do. And I think that can stop the flow. I think the Pacers at the moment got a beautiful flow about them.
Well, that's how they want to play. They want to play quick transition.
Do you think them being a bit tougher, OKC, it'll be harder for them to get that flow?
For sure. They're going to want OKC are going to want to slow it right down, play their pace, play a bit of ISO with SGA, use up the clock. But as soon as Pacers get the ball, they go straight up the court and they try to make it happen. But they've shown that's how they started a couple of years ago. They've shown the ability that they can break it down and get into a dogfight. I reckon this is going to be a 7-game series.
Same. Why does no one think that?
Because OKC have been so dominant and probably exceeded expectations in the West. When you're looking at more teams that were in the West that probably had bigger stars, like the series against Denver Nuggets was probably the better one out of any of them. LeBron got knocked out by the Minnesota Timberwolves. They sort of didn't fire a shot properly in the West. So I think as a team, even though I think Minnesota had better players in Anthony Edwards compared to what the Pacers got of Tyrese Halliburton, I think the Pacers have a better team, which could serve them.
They're a better team.
Make it back and there could be a back and forth.
You think there's going to be someone, Hoz, that surprises us? I just feel with this series, we're talking about Halliburton's and SGA's and Siakam, but I just feel someone's going to surprise us.
Jalen Williams.
And it might not be a massive surprise, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They might put themselves on the proper map.
Well, you always look at the Robins. When it gets to, everyone's so fixated on the big dog. So, like you said, they're going to try to take Tyrese out of the game, but he's a distributor. Obviously, the Pacers are going to try to get at OKC and shut down SGA as much as they can. The next guy up, their number 2, Jalen Williams. He's the guy that could go off.
2 or 3, you said once as well, didn't you?
Pardon?
In big games,
2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Well, then you go to Chet Holmgren for 3.
There you go.
He becomes their number 3. So, both teams got good 2, 3 guys. Like you look at Siakam, he gets the Eastern Conference Finals Player of the series. So, Miles Turner can knock down some big shots and defend and block shots. So it's going to be a nice physical battle with the bigs as well. I'm looking forward to it.
I do feel at the moment. Don't get me wrong, OKC done a job, but I just feel the Pacers, everything about them at the moment, they feel good, they look good, they look happy. Do you feel the role can have an effect on it? You know what I mean?
Well, they're playing with house money. Like no one expects them. No one has expected them to do anything. No one expected them to beat the Cavs. Then no one expected them probably to beat the Knicks. And now they find themselves in the position where no one expects them to beat the Thunder.
Sometimes house money is just a bit too much, though, isn't it? Like. With it, if you're house money, and then again you're letting it ride.
You know what happens when you have a few good little rolls of the dice on the roulette, and then you start hitting a couple of times. You go, that loss is around the corner. Sometimes, it's going to be. I'm really looking forward to
series.
It.
Will be good.
All right, let's get to Facebook, and we are going to look at what the future looks like for KD. Demetrius, do you want to have a go at that last time, Grubby?
Papa
Giorgio?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Papa Giorgio. He's probably from Boston.
Yeah. The Timberwolves. The Timberwolves surely. Anthony Edwards has come out and said how much that he idolizes KD. KD's his favorite player. So I guess that's the connection that Demetrius is trying to put together there. There's another one on Facebook, and it comes from Max Gordon. Surely he goes back to OKC. I hate that. I don't think the way that they're building the draft picks that they've got. It'd be crazy to give up the chemistry that they've got, and it would I think it would get in the way of SGA.
Agree.
KD wants out of the Phoenix Suns. Where do you think he ends up?
Well, first things first, I don't think he's done.
He's not done.
But I also don't think you can put all your chips into KD. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, you can't.
Sort of what do you I feel the Suns have done that. They went. Do you reckon the Suns went all in? Lots of first round picks, a few first round picks, and
the one they want back though is the Bradley Beal one.
Yeah,
the Bradley Beal trade didn't work out at all.
So the way I look at it is, look, there's still KD's still going to do a job somewhere, but you just can't go all in on him because of his body, because of where he's at. You can't really trust him, and I don't know if he can he be your guy anymore.
See, this is where KD reminds me of my man Melo. Right, okay. Melo was the guy for a number of years, whether it was at Denver Nuggets or New York Knicks. Then he got to the back end of his career. He ended up playing for 4 or 5 different teams. Can you make the transition to be a really good number 2, number 3 when you've been the guy? Like, that's what he's struggling with now.
Think for me, and I know you love him, but I just think Melo and KD.
For sure, Melo never got the opportunity to play with the Golden State Warriors and win those championships. Outside of that.
You saying they're very similar, you would say?
Scorers, elite scorers, alphas, top 75 in NBA of all time, like very similar.
Yeah.
Just maybe KD's a better 3-point shooter, but if you take it in the post, KD's a gun. I'm just talking. It's more about the mentality of being an alpha, being a number one.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
And then being able to transition, because I believe if you could get a luxury piece like KD and become a number 2 on a team with a star, like if he bought into being the number 2 next to Ant Edwards, and letting Ant Edwards be the guy knocking down big shots, then for sure, like Timberwolves would try to make that work in a heartbeat.
That's the spot.
Yeah,
I think that's
maybe go Bear the other way.
Yep.
You send some presence that way, because Devin Booker and Bradley Beal, like they've got smalls that could work out with them. So Timberwolves probably make the most sense.
They because obviously I think there was people coming out and saying, let's possibly keep Durant and get rid of Booker, and I was like, no,
they want to keep Booker and Durant. If in the perfect world, the Suns would love to get rid of Beal.
Okay.
Bradley Beal's he was an all-star before he got there, and then he couldn't even find a way into the rotation. He was coming off the bench for him. So they tried to turn him into the 6th man and it just didn't work. So the Suns would love to do that, but it sounds like if it is KD that's frustrated, then he has been known to have the ability to force his way out of teams, and the other team at least can get some picks.
And even just for a franchise, mate, having KD there, getting people through the gates, that's a huge thing too. But I agree with you. I think the T-Wolves are a team on the up. He would see that right now. If he's close with Ant Edwards, it's nearly a done deal.
With Team USA,
makes sense.
They played together. He always talks highly about him, so I think that would be a good fit if they could pull that off. All right, let's get to Twitter, and this one is about the UFC coming up. Divashali versus O'Malley 2, ESPN MMA, 1 week, and that is UFC 316. It's around the corner. Is there any way Sean O'Malley can somehow get the W?
Well, listening, what really annoys me about UFC fighters, they do it a lot, and O'Malley, he's been the champ, I get it. But I read an article today that he's already thinking about his next fight. Who's going to fight after this?
I heard him talking about Conor McGregor recently too.
But
I think he was on a podcast.
No, this was actually for a proper, I think it was through, I forget who it was, but yeah, he's already talking about, once he gets through, man, this guy pumped you last time.
Yeah.
He actually embarrassed you. I think O'Malley needs to, last fight, he got outstriked. Absolutely outstriked. I think it was triple of the striking. O'Malley's got to get back to his awkward self. That fight, I don't know what it was. I think he just got stunned.
It's he's relentless. He just keeps at you. He's like the fighters, the fighters that are sort of dominating the UFC at the moment. They're in your face. They don't give you any room, and they just keep at you, and they put you in awkward situations, and that's his bread and butter. So I don't see a world in which O'Malley can win this. I just can't see it.
No, and that's tactically, he's got to keep his distance.
Yeah,
with straight kicks, keep it so he can't get in, because that's what happened. O'Malley's gonna get taken down.
Yeah,
but then you got to react and try and get up as fast as you can. The last 20 seconds, of that last fight, O'Malley found his feet a bit. If you go back and watch the actual fight, remember it.
Yep.
He looked the most confident was that whole fight.
Right at the
end. Watch the last 20 seconds, and you'll just see. I think that's what he's got to do for longer periods of this fight. But I still don't think he's going to win.
Yep. I'm with you. All right, well, let's get to the stalemate then for this week. And we posted this, and we got a few comments back. Which athletes would you send in first? 100 athletes versus the gorilla. We've seen this. Tell you what, LeBron's not going in there.
Yeah,
He's flopping. There's no way. He don't want that smoke with the gorilla.
All right. LeBron must be this is actually because everything we talk about that's tough.
Yeah.
Like LeBron's always noted, isn't he? Is he noted to be tough?
No, he's not.
Because, but just because he's big and that.
You're trying to wind me up. He's
Nah.
not.
I'm just asking.
He's the opposite. You see when he got poked in the eye and he's like looking up to see if the camera's there.
I did see
Let's
that.
move on.
Look
Come
at
on,
you.
we don't have to just. Let's get to Facebook, and this one comes from AR Sherb. I'd be sending in the Eagles O-line. I like that one. Our man Shabs, I think, might have come up with that one. And the other one comes from Twitter, and it comes from Nick Triple C or Double C 55. He's got 5, and they're all fighters. John Jones, Francis Ngannou, Hafthor Bjornsson, Brock Lesnar, and Mike Tyson. You've gone 5 NRL players. Give me your 5.
Yeah, they're all too not smart enough. All right. My NRL team to beat the big bad gorilla, I've gone Spencer Leniu.
Okay.
Straight in there.
Yep.
Well,
These ones.
he tried to fight the whole Suncorp Stadium last week. So I'm throwing him in. He ain't scared of no gorilla.
Tick.
So that's for that toughness.
Yeah, he wants it.
Then I'm going Michael Ennis. You know why? Because he's the best niggle I've ever seen. He can get under anyone's skin.
Yeah.
Animal, human. So
Even with the communication breakdown that could potentially be there with a human.
he knows gorilla. He knows gorilla chat. So he'll work on it. That's how good he is. He will work on that.
Yeah.
So let's just see. This gorilla thinks he's having a fight. Mick will get him thinking other stuff.
Study their movements.
And chasing. Mick will be chasing
Okay,
him.
I like that.
All right.
I like that.
So next one, I've gone Cameron Smith. For 2 reasons. He's the best wrestler I've ever seen.
Yes.
And we're not just we're our team isn't just thinking all punch, this and
I
that.
like it.
Wrestle.
I love the thought process.
Sweep
here.
the leg.
Love it.
Sotogari.
Yep.
And also, if there's a ref involved,
Yeah.
we will have him on our
Yeah,
side.
yeah. Points decision, win.
Smith,
Yep,
the best
I
in the
like it.
business. Then I've gone Big Nelson
Yep.
for size.
Yep.
You need someone that's just going to go toe-to-toe with the gorilla. And then last one, this is an interesting one, but I think we need a coach.
Yeah.
Because we need tactic.
Yeah.
Des Hasler. He is the wackiest mind I've ever dealt with.
Yep.
And I think he will have a game plan for a gorilla.
He'll have an out there tactic to
You
beat
never
him.
go into a game underprepared, but plus, Des is fighting. He's not just sitting on the sidelines.
No, he's about it. Desi's about it.
Des is about it. So
Yeah.
he will be captain coach and he will fight. He used to come to the gym, do chin-ups and stuff in front of us
Yeah.
all. So he's a beast and he'll be in there for the fight. So I think I've got the gorilla covered.
Ooh, that's a good 5. You got me second guessing my 5 now.
Yeah, it's a big fight.
All right, so I've gone 5 different sports. We're going to start it off with the NFL.
All right, let's go.
I've gone Aaron Donald. He's the most obvious one. He's recently retired. But have you seen him? He does training knocking down knives.
Yeah.
Like Aaron Donald is about that. Like he can, if he can block knives,
Yeah.
come on, kiddies.
Yeah,
He's probably going to
I
have
get
to,
it.
the knives could potentially be the fangs of the gorilla that he's just going to have to,
Yeah.
just give it the swim move. So Aaron Donald is my NFL representation. My NBA is Steven Adams. Steven Adams is he's a big man. Whenever there's a scrimmage, he comes in, he picks people up, he throws them around. He is just, when he's back in New Zealand, he just lives in the forest.
He's a man.
He does. He goes home, he just hunts and cooks.
Gorillas.
He's a gatherer.
He cooks.
He's a hunter-gatherer.
Yeah, okay.
So he lives in, that's his terrain.
All right.
All right?
All right.
Boxing, Jai Opetaia.
Mm.
Have you seen Jai Opetaia recently when he's talking about his fights? He intimidates me and he's not even talking to me.
Yeah.
He is about that business, and I can just see him just, because he's got those he's got those rips right into
So
the
you want
mud
him to
guts.
hit the body.
Hit the body, work the body,
Yeah.
work the body, just, sort of keep him. You just want to annoy the gorilla enough where other people can come in and have some joy, maybe get on their back, which brings me to my UFC.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Habib.
Yeah.
He's going to come in there. The wrestling, the same thing with Cam Smith. You want him to sort of come in there, make it ugly, and then sort of try to get maybe a choke out whilst Jai Opetaia's hitting the ribs.
Well, he does it with bears anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, gorilla, same thing.
Yep.
Right?
And with the NRL one, this is the last one finish off. You actually got both of my guys. I was tossing up between Big Nelson and Spencer Leniu. Just off the back of what happened, you've got to go Spencer. Go Spencer. He's about that business. He wants the smoke. So in order, all the guys that I picked, it was about their mindset.
Yeah.
All of them want the smoke in all their different sports. So
I love that.
we've both got Spencer as part of our 5.
And I'm going to be honest here with Jai. I agree. Every time I watch a Twitter, whatever it is, I flick fast.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see it. Because once I actually seen him at a shopping centre, fanboyed, and I sort of like caught his attention, and I went, I didn't want to look at him.
Have you seen the intensity talk to Mark Buris on the podcast?
I know, that's what I mean. So.
Like Mark Buris is like, I'm like, you're not about to fight Mark Buris.
I know, relax.
Calm down. He's so intense. I love it. I love it. So yeah, those are my 5. Let us know what your 5 are in the comments below. And now it is time to get to the pick 6 presented by Tab. And we're going to have a look at the correct score for the series.
Mm-hmm.
So we both have it going, or do you have it going to 7 games? Okay. And do you have OKC being that winner?
Yes.
Okay. So we got the odds from the Tab here currently for OKC 4-3, 7-game series, $6.
Yep.
If you think it's a 7-game series and Indiana can get the job, 4-3. And I know a lot of people were predicting this, or there are people predicting this. Oklahoma City 4-0 at $4.
Surely not.
No,
See,
I can't.
I don't understand. Oh, it's not.
Indiana
Sorry,
will
I
get a
take that
game.
back. I was going to say, I thought that was the favourite, but it's not. $3.05. Like, they're winning a game.
I think 4-1 is more realistic than 4-0 for sure.
Agreed.
And
Yep.
maybe even the 4-2
I like
is
a bit of
probably
4-2.
4-2. Like, so if you think about it, right? So can they win a game in the first couple of games, then jag one back at home, and then OKC close it out? Yeah, I could potentially see that happening. So yeah, maybe a 4-2, 4-3 to Oklahoma City. So remember, for free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Grub, another awesome show.
Great
Can't
show.
wait. The NBA finals are here. And OTA training camps are back for the NFL. So maybe a little bit of NFL chat about maybe some players that are looking way too early, way too good in the non-pads of the NFL.
Never too early.
Never too early.
And also, when does the gorilla fight the people?
It's got to happen soon. Everyone's been talking about it for so long. Surely it's like the fight between Mayweather and Pacquiao that just took forever to get done. Remember how long that took to get done? Everyone's talking about them fighting in their prime.
My team's ready.
Let's go.